Good morning. This morning I like to work on our budget for 2020, and I like to take you along and show you how I'm going to work on that. My husband, I didn't print out my paper budget for my husband to fill it up, so he just used a sheet and put what he thinks our budget is going to be for 2020. So we are going to set the budget fixed at the start of the year. Excuse me. And that's what we are going to do. We are going to use. So in our case, our budget does not change every single month. We have a fixed budget, and then we record our expenses throughout the month. Excuse me, let me adjust this a little bit. And we record our expenses throughout the month to compare it to the budget. I don't know how you do your budget, but I suggest you do the same things if that will works for you. Set your budget, look at through your expenses, and have an idea what you think you will spend every month. Get it as close as possible, but make sure your expenses are lower than the budget so that you know that you have enough on hand to cover your expenses. So he set our budget, and he thinks our budget is going to be different for 2020 is going to be different from 2019. So he revised our monthly expenses and come up with a budget for me to use for our template for 2020. Let's get started then. I'm going to adjust my camera here so that you can look at my screen. And that's our budget for 2019. I'm going to be going back and forth between that budget and our new budget. And later, I will print the paper template for my husband to use. The paper template works for 1 month at a time. But the spreadsheet, we use it to track all the month's expenses. And at the end, it's easy to analyze those data, those expenses against the income earned. So I believe I have the new spreadsheet, and in case you like the new spreadsheet, it's now up to date just yet. I will add more sheet to it, and in case you like it and you want me to put it on the website for you to download, you just let me know in the comments. I'm going to close it again. For some reason, I'm not seeing all my sheets here. But as you can see, we have the income on top, and we have our monthly expenses at the bottom. The mortgage minimum, or the rent in our case, is the mortgage. We have cable, internet. We are not going to have cable in 2020, but I'll just leave it there. It will be Hulu. I think my husband's been thinking about getting. We have phone, trash, gas, electricity, car gas, bus ticket because I take bus in summertime. I take bus in winter time and I work in summertime. So we budget for that as well. And in fact, yeah, I think I'll keep it there. I was thinking about moving it to our regular expenses, but I think I'll keep it there because it comes out of one of our income. We live on my husband's income and we use my income to pay for the mortgage. So it comes out of my husband's income, but we just move it to the saving every month. So technically it will belong to the irregular expenses. Food, meat, fruit, that's groceries. We have charity allowances, car loan. We don't have any debt in that section, but let's just get started filling up those lines. So as you can see here, he has some numbers for me to work with. And he thinks our total expense is going to be about 987. I think it's going to be a little bit more than that. So let's get started with this section here. That will be the budget, and that is going to be fixed expense. That's going to be fixed throughout the year unless there is a major change in our finances. We might update it again. And I believe last year we updated around September, and that's what this blue column here is. And I call it budget new, budget old. We change it so that I can include credit card payments. And as you can see, there was no credit card before. I think you can see it here in the old budget. And in September, due to a scam, my husband has $15,000 credit card to pay, or $15,000 credit card debt. So we had to include that in the budget. Other than that, we don't usually change our budgets. And on the far right, you'll see the months. That's where we track our actual expenses as we pay them. But every month, we will include the estimate for the month. What we think the month is going to be, we'll include the estimate to see the total. But then as we pay them off, we'll come back and change those numbers. That gives an idea to my husband how much extra he has in his income to pay toward his credit card debts. So for our mortgage, minimum, I will use what we pay in December. That's what it's going to be because it went up. And our minimum is $931.55. So 931.55 is going to be our new budget. For last year, it was 919. And as you can see, it was 919. But then in November, we had our property tax went up, and that increased our minimum mortgage as well. Cable internet, my husband is thinking about $77.99. That includes $70 for internet and $8 for Hulu, I believe. For our phone, he didn't give me a total, but he gave me the numbers. So it's going to be $8.67 for him and $8.57 for me. And those are Taylor's phone. And that's this. I'm using a regular phone, and he used a smartphone. And I can put the link below in case you are tight in budget and you are trying to cut down on your phone expenses. Taylor is a good one. It's not the best one, but it's a small carrier that use Sprint. So if you can afford Sprint phone or you are on Sprint, you can use that phone to move to Tello and choose a Tello plan. You customize it yourself, and I just choose 300-minute free test and $0 for mine for $8 for $7 a month or $8.57 including tax. And my husband has the same thing including $1 for a total of $8.67. So we have our trash here that is $19 a month. We have gas. We like to keep our gas and electricity at 1 cc a month. And what I noticed is we don't spend that much in our electricities. Let's take gas for example. Now as you can see, it varies throughout the year, and only 1 month that it was closed, February, that it was closed to 1 cc. And if we check electricity, which is the one below the gas one, a lot of time is above 1 cc, but when we combine both, we stay well below 320 a month. So I like to keep both like that. Otherwise, we have to, one way we could have adjusted is looking at the average for electricity is 1 cc. When I select all the months, that's 1 cc. The total of the month divided by 12 is 170. So our electricity expenses is 170 a month, and our gas is $78 in average. So I could adjust them and put 78 for gas and 170 for electricity as well. But I don't know, I will check that with my husband to see how he feels with that. I could easily put 80 here, and I want that to be 320 though. So 170 was this one and 78, so that will be 250. You see, even if I go with this, it will give us some saving. But the reason I like to keep it at 1 cc and 1 cc is any saving from this session goes to the saving account. So I'm going to keep it like that and discuss that with my husband as well. Otherwise, when I change it, I will decrease gas and I'll increase electricity, but in a way that I keep that 320, so that every month any saving from this one goes toward the saving. So that's that for electricity and gas. Car gas, he's thinking about 55, which is the same thing we used last month. For our bus, my bus ticket is $10 a month saved, and the groceries is $375. We are not changing that. The charity or donation, he put CC. Allowances for us, we are keeping it at CC until he pays off his credit card debts. And car loan, we don't have any. Credit card debt, the minimum we are going to put $250, because last month the minimum was $254, and this month it was $254. So next month, which will be the first month of 2020, is going to be less than $254 or less than $250. So we are going to put $250 there. Tuition loan, we don't have any, and other debt, we don't have any. So as you can see, our total expenses that we are budgeting for is $2,175.78. And I believe compared to the budget that we work with, the new budget, our expenses was estimated at $2,266.11. So it's good to adjust your budget annually if you can, but I don't think you have to adjust it monthly. I don't think it's needed, but it's good to record your expenses so that you can track how much you are spending really. So that is the middle or the second section of our budget. Let's go up a little bit and adjust our income here. So my income, I'm going to put my husband's income first, and if I will go back, I'm not sure he gave me any things to work with, but I can use 18 because his hours decreased a little bit. Let me use a modest number here. Why not using 800 plus 800, 1600? So he's paid twice a month. Yeah, every 2 weeks. So let's put that there. And mine, let's go back and check it. 3277.23. 3277.23. So that gave us a total of 4,877.23. And as you can see, let me move down a little bit here. Our expenses, we budget to be 2,175.78. So that's less than half our income. That's how we live on less than 50% of our income. If we go down, we will pull extra because we are paying. Let me go up again and I'll show you this income here. 1,600 is going to pay for expenses from the cable internet all the way down to the credit card debt, which total to 1,244. So 1,244.23 is going to come out of 1,600. Anything left out of the 1,600, he's going to put it toward the credit card extra payments. And I can go down a little bit and insert a row. I don't know why my spreadsheet is not okay. So going down for me now, it is. So here I'm going to put living expenses. Living expenses on one income. Living expenses on one income is going to be the total of internet all the way to other debts, and that's 1,244.23. And I will copy the formula and spread it all across. So balance from living on one income, I can adjust those totals later as well, will be the difference between the first income that we chose to live on and the total expenses that we pay for with that income. So out of my husband's income, we will have $355.77 left every month, which he could easily apply toward his credit card debt here. So that would be, I'm thinking about including that in here as well, so that we can see if he's paying. Yeah, let's just leave it like that for now. So that's 355.77. 355.77. And this one is expenses from our saving, and expenses from our saving is going to be pretty much the total right there, and that's the saving expenses that we save for, and I like to call it irregular expenses. I'll work on that next. One thing I like to work on in this session is the mortgage extra. And as you can see up here, the second salary here is going to be paying the mortgage, the 931.55, and anything remaining will go toward the extra, or we might put 500 toward our businesses, which fall under this category of investment. So here the extra is going to be the sum I can just put it here as well. Balance from paying minimum mortgage will be the sum of that income minus the minimum mortgage and minus I wanted to include minus the investment. So out of $3,277, when we pay $931 toward our mortgage every month, we will have $2,345.68. So that's our mortgage is way less compared to our income that we put out, and that amount that you see right there will go under mortgage extra. So we could easily put 2,345 extra to our mortgage. I didn't put it at the right spot, so it's going to be that this one is the regular expenses. It will come from this row here, and that's how you will use this spreadsheet. And as you can see, we can easily put 2,345 to our principal, toward our principal and pay off very quickly, and my husband will put 255 toward credit card payment extra. So that's how we plan of paying off our debt. We can easily save more than 50% of our income because we live on well less than 50% of our income. But instead of investing that 50%, we prefer to pay our debts so that we can save on those interests, and then we can take our income after we are done paying off those debts and start investing. Thank you for watching. I'm going to address the irregular expenses in another video. Thank you for watching. I'm Nina from Nina Soap.